just people from the group, people in general, and they're like, what is going on with Real-Debrid? Because for some people it's working, it's not working, and for other people it's working and not working. But majority, it's all working. And if we go over and transition really quick, I think I'll be able to explain to you some stuff. So this is the Real-Debrid Twitter account, okay? If you want, I'll post the link down below in this video description once I'm done. But I also posted exactly what I'm about to read to you in the video description. So from Real-Debrid, when was it? On November 21st, so 2 days ago. It reads as follows. Following a formal notice from the FNEF, which I believe is the Federal National Editors Federation in France. Okay, we're gonna keep this in France, possibly even Europe, but majority France, and we'll get to that in a second. But let me just finish reading it. Here is the website. It says Real-Debrid is strengthening its anti-piracy measures. So they did get a notice from the FNEF. And they're probably going to have some takedowns of certain links from, I guess, everybody that's involved with the FNEF, which I'll show you next. It says, as you already know, we actively comply with DMCA and are already blocking a certain number of infringing torrents, okay? Now, torrents, if you don't have a VPN, are usually what gets you in trouble when you're trying to watch something, okay? Torrents. I've got in trouble myself. I tried watching back in the day the movie with Gerard Butler, where the asteroids or meteors are coming to Earth, something like that. I think Geostorm. That's what got me in trouble with my cable company at the time, because I was watching a torrent. So if you haven't experienced that, you're lucky. That's the torrents. A lot of times flag cable companies. So, continuing in the coming hours. Audiovisual files available on a number of cyberlockers listed on the USTR blacklist or listed in the European counterfeit and piracy watch list will be blocked. So this is majority, European type stuff. A filtering by file name will also be applied in accordance with the request of the FNEF. This may unfortunately lead to a false positives that we will process manually. A blocking of all torrents, hashes of private torrent trackers mentioned in cases at the Paris Judicial Court. So basically, it is coming out of France. And like I said, I'll show you next. A complete purge of files potentially cached on the previously mentioned criteria. The deactivation of the API endpoint / instantAvaibility, a blocking of counterfeit Kodi / Stremio applications to the extent that they are indefinable. Okay? Oh, identifiable. Sorry. I'm a little blind. Identifiable. All right, so if you do click the link, it's going to bring you right here where it says the FNEF, Fédération Nationale des Éditeurs de Films. All right, my French isn't as good as my Spanish or Greek, but you get the gist. And if it says our members, so these are the members. I'm assuming any movie that is distributed through or produced through any of these members, like say even Sony Pictures, okay? But I'm assuming it's Sony of France. So let's just say it's something Sony in the USA or another country. It might not be harmed. I think it's only dealing with French movies or maybe things that are made through these movies through France. I'm not 100%. I'm just the messenger. The more information that I get, the more information that you get as well. So just, keep up on it. I'll keep you posted as best I can. I'm sure other people will also come out and explain different things. But it looks like all of these affiliations with this FNEF is what it's going to come down to, okay? So if any link dealing with a torrent through Real-Debrid has anything to do with one of these companies and their movies, their TV shows, documentaries, whatever is dealing with these companies is most likely not going to be working anymore. So if you are a person that watches something from one of these affiliations through this company, Real-Debrid is no longer going to be hosting it on their streaming service as far as links, okay? So don't think that you paid for your service and you're not going to get other links. Like I said, I'm not 100% about this. We got to give credit where credit is due. RD has been great to all of us for the last, I want to say, possibly 5 to 10 years. But like a company, obviously, they don't want to be taken out. They want to make their money too, and they do have to comply with rules and regulations and laws, as we all do. Now, I understand it may hurt certain things as far as pirated content, but I want to say majority of the stuff is most likely not going to come out of the FNEF. So it's pretty much safe to say that you should be okay. Now, if you do use RD and it does start to affect you in a certain way, my recommendation is possibly start using FlixVision. FlixVision, for me, I don't even use RD anymore, and I have no problems in getting English speaking or subtitle movies and TV shows through FlixVision. How they do it, nobody knows. I don't want to explain too much from them, but I gotta say they're a great app to use if you haven't already used it. Also HDO, I know some people using Cinema HD. So a lot of different things are working as far as outside scrapers, regardless of RD. Now they do have other, Real-Debrid and whatnot, premiumized and all that stuff. If you have that and you got that and it's working, awesome. They may even be hit with this FNEF letter. Who knows? Just keep whatever you have. Obviously, if you have RD, I would follow them. If you have Real-Debrid, I would follow them. Premiumize, I would follow them as well. So that way you are in the know if you don't read or your emails or goes to junk mail or whatnot. So just, keep yourself posted regardless, so that way you know what you're paying for and what goes on. And this is why a high recommendation that I always give on any type of service, I always recommend you pay month to month. Don't pay for, 3 months, 6 months, a year, anything like that, because then you might lose your money. You don't know what the future holds for any of these companies, so just pay month to month, because I'd rather you lose $10 to $20 instead of, $60 to $100 plus more dollars. You get what I'm saying? So that's pretty much, where we're at as far as Real-Debrid. If you're using them and they're working for you, keep using them. It should be no problems. Just something dealing with France and their judicial system has put a stop to them, and Real-Debrid is complying, which they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't comply. They should comply, being a business, getting paid for what they're doing, to be up and running as far as what they're doing. Should be okay. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'll post their link down below in the video description. You can check that out for yourself, and you can just be up to par and up to date on what's going on with their company. So as always, any problems or questions, feel free to hit me up at any time on any of my social media accounts. I'll post those links down below in the video description as well. If you are already a member of the #1 Kodi source on Facebook, invite family, invite friends. If you are a new user and joiner of the group, just make sure you answer the questions, or else the admins and the mods will decline you, okay? We try to keep it no spam, no scam. Try to keep everybody from talking about what they need to talk about right on the site or the group itself. Don't be trying to sneaky PM somebody to get some money, yada, yada. Everything is pretty much out there and in the open, so that way we all help each other. And I gotta say, everybody that is in the group and joins the group, sometimes you have, some people to talk a little smack here and there, but we reprimand them best we can. And at least everybody helps, everybody out in the long run. So with that said, I hope that this sheds a little bit of light on what's going on with Real-Debrid. Like I said, if you have them, keep using them until it doesn't work for you, okay? And just make sure that it's not working. It's nothing to deal with any deleting of their cache or clearing their cache or anything on your end, okay? Like I said, Real-Debrid has been a great company for me, myself, and a lot of other people as well. So I'm not putting them down in any way, shape, or form, but they gotta abide by the rules to stay in business, as we all have to stay in business, okay? So once again, I hope this sheds light. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed Real-Debrid and all of your links. And as always, I thank you for watching.